This city has a crazy energy. Filled with sacred meaning, it sets the pace for the development of the entire nation and symbolizes its success. Hello, this is Terra Incognita project. My name is Anton Fedorov, and I continue my narrative about the capital of Kazakhstan, Astana. Dynamics of development of Astana is increasing every year. It feels like the capital of Kazakhstan is rapidly gaining shape, like an athlete before the Olympics. If you look at some figures from the life of the city, you can say that it indeed succeeds. Did you know that there are 70 to 75 babies born in Astana every day? Or, for example, that the capital of Kazakhstan became the first city in the country to have a fully artificial heart transplant. It happened in 2017. Or, for example, the fact that in 20 years the population of Astana has increased almost 4 times, from 275,000 to 1 million people. Not every city in the world can demonstrate such a pace of development. And I continue my walk around the Kazakh capital. The place where I am right now is called the Joly Boulevard. This is the main pedestrian zone of the administrative center of Astana. This boulevard, just as the master plan for the construction of the Kazakh capital, was designed by Kisho Kurakawa, a Japanese architect. And this is where the most beautiful buildings of Astana are concentrated. This boulevard is considered one of the main points of interest in the Kazakh capital. It is located on the left bank of the Ishim River, and it is hard for me to believe that 20 years ago there was nothing here at all except for a bed of rushes. In appearance, the boulevard is a 3-level building. In the lower part of the building there are parking lots. In the middle, there are businesses and retail outlets that provide various services, as well as several cafes and restaurants. At the top of the boulevard is a pedestrian zone. It is distinguished by magnificent multicolored flower beds, emerald lawns, alleys with benches and unique hardscape. In addition, there are indoor galleries leading inside the buildings erected in this place. If you delve into various sources, you can find many curious facts about the history of Astana. The Sarayarka steppe, which has been surrounding the capital of Kazakhstan for many centuries, was the center of intersection of various civilizations and cultures. Even the ancient Greek historian Herodotus, in the 1st century BC, wrote about the steppe section of the Great Silk Road, which passed here. Traveling merchants and caravans left parts of their cultures in this region, creating new trading, crafts, and forms of living. I have to say the filming of this episode of the project was unpredictable, and they depended on the changing weather in the Kazakh capital. In just a few hours, it rained here. Then it became sunny. After that, a strong wind blew. But we did not interrupt our filming process for a second. In general, the problem of strong winds is relevant for Astana. The city is located in an open steppe zone, which makes it vulnerable from almost all sides. But the administration of the city found an interesting way out of the situation. The so-called green belt was planted around Astana, 9.5 million trees, which every year become higher and protect the city from dust storms and strong hurricanes. In general, according to weather forecasters, Astana is getting warmer every year. The average annual temperature in the capital of Kazakhstan rises by 0.4 degrees every 10 years. The climate in Astana, according to experts, is becoming more favorable. From year to year, of course, deviations can be observed both in a positive and a negative direction, but in general, the temperature rises steadily. And this is good news, because winters in Astana are always very harsh. When walking along the Joly Boulevard, you will certainly come to the building, which rises majestically in the very center of its pedestrian part. The Baytrek can be rightly called the main symbol of Astana. This magnificent monument has a deep philosophical significance. It personifies the idea of the view of the universe of the Kazakh people. According to the ancient Kazakh legend, there is the tree of life called Baytrek, grown on the banks of the River of Peace. It is connected with the 3 worlds, serving as their basis. The roots of the tree go deep into the ground, while its powerful trunk holds the earthly world and, with its powerful crown, the heavenly world. Samruk is flying to this tree, the sacred bird of happiness, in order to lay a golden egg in a nest on its top. It symbolizes the sun, giving life and hope. But below, between the roots, there is Idahar hiding, an evil dragon who wants to eat the egg. Bayterek is a tree of life, a symbol of independence of Kazakhstan. We're now at an altitude of 97 meters. The number 97 symbolizes the year when the capital moved from Almaty to Astana. The total height of Bayterek is 105 meters, including its spire. The idea of construction belongs to our president, Nursultan Nazarbayev, and this monument was commissioned in August 2002 after 18 months of work. For the entire Kazakhstan people, Bayterek has become a symbol of the onset of a new stage in the history of the country, while the world community associates this monument with the independence of Kazakhstan. Every day, many tourists want to visit the building. There are residents of regions of the country, foreign travelers, children, and students. Their employees are wearing special uniforms decorated with national ornaments. They conduct sightseeing tours for guests in Russian, Kazakh, English, and other languages. And I learned that Bayterek is not only a building with deep symbolism, but also an amazing engineering feat. Italian glass is 3-layer and is 5 centimeters thick. The diameter of the ball is 22 meters. The weight is 1,200 tons. It is made of metal. The ball swings with strong winds by half a meter. There are two compositions here at a height of 97 meters. First composition is called Akbata and is translated as blessing. In 2003, the Congress of Leaders of World and Traditional Religions was held here, where representatives of 17 denominations left murals with the wishes of peace, goodness, and harmony. Here, for example, is Saudi Arabia, Al-Azhar University, the Russian Orthodox Church, Metropolitan Methodius, the Roman Catholic Church, and the Supreme Mufti Absattar Kaji Derbisali had signed for Kazakhstan. The following composition is called Kind Palm. It is made in the form of a cauldron, a symbol of the Kazakh hospitality. There are 2 kilograms of gold and 6 kilograms of silver in it. There is a copy of the Golden Man's Belt on the side, silver leopard heads, an animal style, and 3 pillars: independence, labor, and welfare. There is also an impression on the right hand of the president. Traditionally, people make wishes here. The Bayterek has long become a must-visit place in the Kazakh capital. Very often, here, people make appointments with each other. Everyone in the city knows where Bayterek is. Astana has become a second home for many. The city as if absorbs all the best architecture in the country, the best medical, educational, and cultural centers, the best sports facilities are all here. I would like to introduce you to one already rather well-known person in Kazakhstan who made a choice in favor of Astana and moved to the city to live.
Hey, Anton, brother, how are you?
Fine, thanks, and you?
Very good to see you, man. Very good
Just
to see
a moment.
What's
One,
up?
2, 3.
Oh, okay. Okay. Now we are on the same level, yeah? Cool.
I have some present for you.
Really? Wow.
This is our traditional tubiteka,
Fantastic.
our traditional
Tubiteka, thank
national
you.
hat.
Thank you, Rahmet. Let me try it on. Do I look good?
How is your being here? Oh, perfect. How is
Thank
it being
you.
here in Astana?
Very good, very good. Today freshened up, but I love it. I love it. It's very English weather.
I have one surprise for you. I invite you to some journey on Astana. Let's
Okay,
go
let's do
and
it, man.
discuss everything.
Okay. Wow.
Jean Pascal is a singer and musician. He was born and raised in Italy. Until recently, Pascal lived in his homeland, traveled, studied, and composed music and poems. One day, a student from Kazakhstan approached him at this concert in Italy. She introduced herself and offered to visit her country. The girl was so convincing that Pascal decided to go to a completely unknown place. He came here, saw it, and decided to stay here forever.
Well, Pascal, have you ever been traveling on Astana on the open bus?
Actually, first time, man. You know, when you live in a city, you live more as a citizen, not as a tourist. So I'm surprised. This is a good present. Thank you.
So how you live here? What do you do? I haven't seen you few years.
Well, yeah, because I moved from Almaty 3 years ago. I started to work here. Well, I work in old Kazakhstan as a musician, but Astana, I chose it as a city to live because it gave me a clearer view of Kazakhstan, of the development of this country. This is where everything starts. And I like the city, it's clean. The fact that I am inside this process of growth, of change, I really like it.
And what about the people who live here? How do you find them?
Kazakh people are very hospitable. Hospitality was born here. It's a tribal thing. It's something that comes from the origin of this civilization. But I think Astana is very young, and the people are very new, and they are from all sides of Kazakhstan. I guess we are on the nice way. We're on the right way, on the right path. But I think it's going to take a few years for the people to get used to each other and to live in a young city. I cannot call it a city, I can call it a project. It's still in progress. So I think in a few years it will be ideal. Right now it's amazing, of course. I'm living very well here. And people are hospitable, people are welcoming, people are technologic, are contemporary. But, you know, there is this phenomenon of urbanization. People are coming very, very fast from the villages. So it takes a while for them to get used. Of course, the first job they do is like taxi driver or security in clubs and stuff. So it's not easy for them to deal with this new reality. And of course, you sometimes find people that are not so lovely like you expect. But it's part of every city. It's part of the urbanization process. And to be honest, I find the same problems in Italy.
I would like to ask you about the architecture of Astana. As you think, every year here appear new buildings, different, modern, futuristic. Can you compare Astana with some cities all over the world, or maybe it's very special city?
I think Astana is uncomparable because the architectures are so random that it's like being in a huge circus, you know, in a huge museum. You see different kind of stuff just put there like this, and there's people who like it, there's people who don't like it. I personally love it because your eyes never get tired. For example, if you go to Italy, you see these particular architectures, like if you go to Tuscany, you see red roofs and yellow houses. If you go to the south, you can see more white and blue. Here, you see everything. So it's interesting. I like it, and it makes the city less boring. It makes you feel in the 21st century. It makes you feel part of this growth. I love it. Yeah, it's great.
And do you have some favorite place maybe here in Astana? What makes more impression on you here?
Well, I like very much the pyramid. I love these theories, you know, masonry. I really love to read it on the internet. And there is an article in which they say that Astana is projected very symmetrically, and I love to think, you know, that here there is a kind of power developing from this city. Yeah. So I really love and then I love the pyramid for the meaning of the pyramid, because it's the palace of all religions. So it's when every I think 4 years the leaders of religions, they meet and they discuss and they project their peace, and it's meaningful, you know. Kazakhstan, it's a faraway place for us Europeans, but still it becomes the center of the world at some point. There are economic forums, there's just been Expo, there are religious forums, political forums. You know, there is the American dream. Well, personally, I'm having the Kazakh dream. because
surely.
No one thought about coming to East. Everybody goes to West. But America, to be honest, it's not the land of the dreams anymore. here, when you can imagine something, you can do it. This is what I like about Kazakhstan.
Can you call Kazakhstan your second motherland?
You know what? We have two different houses in life. This is my philosophy. The place where you were born and the place where you were reborn as a man. Kazakhstan is the place where I was reborn as a man, where I found my career, where I found my happiness, where I found my little success in my little story. So I can say that this is my first home. And every country has its own contradictions, but no one is perfect, and no place is perfect. And I can say that this place gave me happiness, and this place gave me the chance that everybody is looking for. So, of course, this is my first home. This is where I became a man, I became a singer how I wanted to be. People are following me, are coming to my concerts, they're giving me joy, happiness, money, because I'm earning, because I'm working. So, absolutely, first home.
Okay, thank you for the interview. I was very glad to see you,
Thank you, thank to see you again.
I wish you good luck.
While I continue my journey through Astana, and I will continue to introduce you to its history, architecture, and life in general. Astana is a young and very athletic city. One of the main brands of the Kazakh capital is the Boris Hockey Club. Right now, we're near one of the most unique sports facilities in Astana, where in a few minutes, the home meeting of the hockey club will take place. And I invite you to this festival of sports. Winter in Astana lasts for almost half a year, therefore it is very expedient to develop winter sports here. In 1999, the authorities of the Kazakh capital decided to establish the Boris Hockey Club, which in just a decade and a half became one of the main signatures of Kazakhstan in terms of hockey. The debut of the novice in the regional championship turned out to be more than successful. By the results of its starting season, in the national championship, Boris won silver medals. After that, the story of the club developed rapidly. Boris began to participate in all sorts of tournaments and cups, but the level of the team did not allow hockey players to perform at high international competitions. Only 10 years from the date of its establishment, Boris enters the Continental Hockey League and becomes a truly star team.
Но мы изначально начали ходить уже, если точно сказать, то уже третий год.
While we initially started coming, saying for sure this is our third year, we liked Boris Hockey Club, we became its fans. I sent my son to the hockey club. He's been playing for almost 2 years, and now we do not miss a single game. Hockey is our life. We only drink and sleep and eat after our club wins. Boris is significant for the whole Kazakhstan.
Победы только живем хоккеем. Наш клуб Борис, он значит для всего Казахстана. Благодаря этому клубу.
Thanks to this club, children and young people started playing hockey only because of this club. Everybody wants to become stars and everybody wants to play for Boris.
Играть в Борисе.
This is something unspeakable of. The atmosphere at the stadium is simply amazing. Such a large number of people united by the same spirit and willing to support their favorite team gives a huge surge of energy. The home game was held in the main ice rink of Astana, Boris Arena. This is a modern multifunctional sports palace designed for 12,000 spectators. On the day of this game, the stadium was almost full. Unfortunately, this day the Astana club was defeated, but this did not cloud the spirits of its fans. Most importantly, they were able to enjoy an exciting game. Well, I continue my story about the capital of Kazakhstan, and I want to invite you to one place, but I would need to change for it.
Итак, мы приехали к месту, где каждый...
So we have come to a place where every resident and guest of the capital feels a real excitement. Now we're going to the theater, but not just to the theater, the best theater in Central Asia. I invite you to come to Astana Opera.
Театр Astana Opera был открыт в 2013 году.
The Astana Opera Theatre was opened in 2013. Today, this architectural masterpiece amazes not only with its appearance, but also with its interior design. Architects from 33 countries worked on the creation of this theatre. And today, Astana Opera is not inferior to the most famous theatres in the world, such as La Scala in Milan or the Royal Theatre in Madrid. Astana Opera is the largest theatre in Central Asia. Its area is 64,000 square meters. Such a territory can freely accommodate 9 stadiums with a capacity of up to 30,000 people. Inside and out, the building is decorated with Sicilian marble. One of the main decorations of the lobby is a large chandelier made of Bohemian crystal, weighing about 1,600 kilograms. Undoubtedly, this unique auditorium is the main pride of the theatre. The stunning, beautiful hall is considered to be the main one in the Astana Opera Theatre. It is designed for 1,200 seats and is built according to certain technical requirements. Acoustic parameters here allow the spectators to hear the sound of the instruments or the voices of the performers in a very high quality.
Астана Опера действительно, без ложной скромности, один из лучших театров мира. Великолепное здание,
Astana Opera is truly, without false modesty, one of the best theaters in the world. Great building, great atmosphere here. It is a great pleasure to be here, and as a person working on the other side of the stage, just as many people, I know the opinions of spectators and listeners who really love our theater very much. And I have been coming here for several premieres. There are several being prepared right now. The new season begins. We are a relatively young theater. However, I'm pleased that indeed, in a month, we have a new trend, no tickets, not because there are none, but because they very quickly sell like hotcakes.
Появилась новая тенденция, нет билетов. Не потому, что их нет, а потому, что они очень быстро разлетаются. Действительно, вот как...
There is an audience that has really become dear to us over the years of our collective's existence. This is our audience. These are people who come to all the performances. Someone has a preference. Some like opera, while others love ballet. But most people know that Astana Opera, whatever we imagine, we always try to make it of the highest quality.
Люди знают, что Астана Опера, что бы мы ни представили, это всегда мы стараемся, чтобы это было самого высокого качества.
Undoubtedly, Astana Opera attracts not only by the beauty of its building. There is a variety of productions on the stages of this theater. There are icons of opera and ballet of world. Therefore, tickets for the performances are sold out a month in advance.
Одного только здания этого недостаточно. Хотя я хочу сказать, что подобное здание, как Астана Опера, оно настраивает.
This building alone is not enough, although I'd like to say that such a building as the Astana Opera sets you up for certain things. It inspires both us who are working here and the spectators. When a spectator comes and enters this luxurious lobby, you know you can't just come here wearing shorts or flip-flops. You want to come in all dressed up. Ladies wear elegant dresses, evening dresses, men come in suits, and this very sense of anticipation when you come into the theater, passing through this lobby, you feel like you're some kind of fairy tale. Naturally, it is, first of all, the people who work here that create this fairy tale for the audience. Our goal is, despite the fact that every week we have at least 2 different performances, a ballet performance, an opera performance and concerts, plus a few more concerts or mini performances simultaneously in a small hall and in the chamber hall, which is also very interesting in itself. There is a special aura and acoustics. And with all that, our goal is to always keep it at a very high level. What does it imply, first of all? This work, self-sacrifice, being in good shape continuously. Ballet performers are engaged in very hard physical work. They must constantly keep themselves in shape. I'm not talking about the orchestra and about the choir. We have a lot of rehearsals. At times, musicians work with no breaks and no days off, if it is necessary for our creative work, and if that's what it takes for the sake of the public.
Бывает такое, что даже без перерывов, без выходных, если это нужно для творчества, если это нужно для публики.
Inspired by my trip to the theater, I continued my walk around Astana in the evening, and I wanted to see another unique landmark of the Kazakh capital. The Wall of Peace is the name of this architectural complex. It was presented to Astana for the 20th anniversary by the October region. The main idea of this display is the peace-loving policy of Kazakhstan, because in the first years of independence, my country made a truly historic step, forever renouncing nuclear weapons and declaring a commitment to peace and creation. The renouncement of nuclear weapons opened up Kazakhstan to the world. Thanks to this decision, my country will never again feel the pain of testing nuclear weapons at a test site. The Wall of Peace monument has a deep meaning. The complex is made of metal and natural stone. It is comprised of 3 parts. The first one symbolizes disunity and isolation. The second one is for hope, freedom, and independence. The third one is for path towards preservation of peace and inter-ethnic concord. According to the authors, the wall that creates barriers is transformed into a unifying and protecting roof in the form of a petal, thereby protecting, uniting people groups, bringing them together under the same sky of a peaceful and successful country, the Republic of Kazakhstan.
Это была заключительная серия проекта Terra Incognita.
This was the final episode of Terra Incognita project. I drove across the country and showed you from the inside what my homeland is like. I hope you enjoyed it, and all I can do is add, welcome to Kazakhstan. My name is Anton Fedorov, and I have a lot of new stories prepared for you. See you on Kazakh TV.